Everyone, how are you? I'm good. Okay, today we will talk about the one representative project for analyzing figures of people in MidSuits. The problem definition like this. As you know, Schutz is very famous American drama. There are many characters and some are main characters and the others is the secondary the character, I think. So using some data, we can analyze the relationship between main characters and others. Alright, so to do that, as we already learned, we can use the read.csv file for loading in our studio, and we can store the data into the data frame format, and then we can use some specific package for analyzing the main characters, such as the iGraph for visualization of the network. And then we can verify our intuition and the result of the R Studio. So the main object for that, we can compare our the personal opinion after watching the drama and the proof of the programming, such as the R and the interpreting language. Alright, so first we should know how can we read the read.csv file, and how can we store the data into the predefined or proper data structure, and we can also visualize the result with the more efficient way. Alright, okay, so before programming, if you watch the drama, you can recognize the many main characters and the secondary characters, but that part is very personal and not object the clear answer, right? So in this case, big data can be helpful to us, because using big data we can analyze the hidden information and the unclear relationship between people, right? So using computer as well as programming, if we analyze the number of the frequency of the sentence per each person and the relationship between them, we can understand or map the degree of the relationship, right? So for example, if we only consider several snaps of the American drama, there are a few characters and the communication or interaction between them. But if we consider the big size data, of course we can consider the more content for analyzing the interaction and communication and relationship between characters, right? So after counting or the frequency or the weight on top of the degree per each sentence, we can't imagine or guess the degree of the relationship also. But that is the second part in future of our lecture. in this time, we only analyze given the data of the Excel file, and then we can get the network visualization. So today example is also toy example, but in future we should control big data too. So we should come up the enough exercise for future. All right. Okay. So when you check this slide, there are at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters in MidSuits. So we don't know who is the main character, but naturally we can imagine, oh, the hobby is the main character in this movie, regardless of watching the movie or not. Okay. So the hobby is the human best lawyer for law firm of America, and the Mike is the genius who remember everything at a glance, and he likes reading a lot. And the Mike is a junior lawyer of the hobby. So when I remember this drama, maybe hobby had big trouble for selecting the junior lawyer, but after finding Mike, he determined the junior lawyer as a junior lawyer. He selected Mike as a junior lawyer because he is not common man, right? Okay. And Jessica is the hobby's boss and a talented woman who became a boss of the law firm in the New York. And Donna is the woman bumped into Mike in an unexpected way. She is not a lawyer, but she has ability for coming out with the lawyer skill. So after watching this drama, naturally we can imagine who are the main characters or not. But if you want to introduce the MidSuits before watching movie to audience, how can you get the information, right? So at this time, if you have the big data and if you can program, you can do the data analysis using the big data, right? So you can get this graph, for example. So as I mentioned in the previous slide, in this example, we only consider toy data. So there are only around 20 rows only. But if you analyze this, the CSV file using RStudio, naturally we can get this network visualization graph. So when you look at this, you can imagine, oh, Mike and Hobby and Louis are main characters because when we count the number of the out degree and in degree, Mike's has 1 in degree and 4 out degrees. So the total of the degrees is 5, right? So the more the number of the degrees is, that means the character can be main role in the movie, right? So the Mike has 5. How about Hobby? Hobby has 2 inputs and 4 output. So the Hobby has 6 degrees, right? How about Louis? Louis has 4 input and 2 output. So Louis has 6 degrees also. In this example, we did not try to, we don't need to, we don't need to try put the meaning in the direction. So, for example, input direction means the received message, or output degrees is the sending the message, and so on. But at the first time, we don't need to consider the meaning of the direction. We only consider the main characters or not in this example, alright? But in future, if we want to extend the data with the larger size, and if we want to put the meaning into the each directions, you can extend all by yourself using your own data. Your data can be another movie, such as the Iron Man, or Shakespeare's The Novel, or your major data, and so on. And you can also put the meaning into the number of the degrees, or the cyclic or acyclic of the direction. Alright? So it is up to you. According to our content, I will give a chance to extend of your own data using homework or your assignment, and so on, according to our content. So don't worry about it. Okay, so when you look at Trevor and Christine, the circle size is so small, and naturally the number of the degree is just number 1. So yeah, we can imagine these characters is not main, right? Okay, so using this information, we can imagine, using this data set, we can visualize the results of the given data. Alright, for that, first we should know what is the package. Package can cover many functions and data as well as variable. So I can explain the package with this figure. So the boy wanted to open the jewelry box. So as you know, jewelry box can cover many kinds of the valuable and beautiful and brilliant the jewelry, right? So that's very important. So the package is very similar meaning with that, alright? So according to the package name, the package has its own the valuable function, data as well as variable. So if we download the package with this comment, and if we open the package with this comment, we can use the many kinds of proper functions, data as well as variable based on our interest, right? So package can be very helpful to us, alright? So in this example, we can we can use the iGraph package for analyzing the data for the visualization of the network graph. Alright, so we can imagine the function of this package. For example, the package name is iGraph. So this package can be helpful to visualize our data into the graph, right? So for using that, we should download the iGraph package with this comment, and we can open this package in our local computer, alright? And if you open this CSV file with header option, we can get the this result. So maybe the first row can be header, right? So if you type this one, and if you try to print out the df, you can get this data. Okay, so you can do it all by yourself. Alright, and if you use the false comment of the heads, as I mentioned before, the head function can select only the 3 rows from the top level, right? So we can get the sample of the big data. And how about STR? As I mentioned before, we can get more detailed, more specific the information of the DF data, right? And we also learned about edge.data.frame function. So if you use the DF data with the edge.data.frame, that means we can surely transform the DF data into the data frame. But did you remember I talked about the result of the read.csv function, right? If we open the data with the read.csv file, of course we can get the data frame for the result, right? But surely we can't transform perfectly from the result to the data frame structure. So frankly, you don't need to put this comment in this exercise, but that is one of the skills or the sometimes you should use the edge.data frame for covering every types of the data. Alright, so I recommend you also use this comment in this exercise too. Alright, so you should put your personal information and your working date and your subject, yeah, and you can put the comment for these comments based on my explanation. So it is up to you. So you can write down your comment in English, alright? And you can also put your comment in English about understanding of 3 comments, alright? 4 comments, okay? And you can also transform from data structure to the graph.data.frame. Okay, so if you use these functions, you can transform from data structure to the graph data. Okay, so we did not learn about graph, but flexibly you should know the additional data structure per each package. Alright, so if you use this package iGraph, we can transform our data to the format of the graph. So what is graph? Alright, I can explain the graph even though most students knew about it. Alright, so as you know, graph. Okay, so we can go to the site and we can get the function. Alright, but we did not put the package explanation here. So we learned about the iGraph today. Alright, iGraph, we can visualization of graph. Okay, alright, so we can use the iGraph package, and after installing iGraph package, we can use the graph dot data.frame function. As I talked to you, each package has enough functions and rows about it. Okay, so there are this one. Okay, so you can use this. All right. Okay, so I can't add the definition of the graph. Graph is one of data structure, so you can use the data structure category. Okay, so first is vector, second matrix, third one data frame, array, list, and you can add the vector, as you know. All right, and graph. Graph is the can be also data structure with vertex and edge. So vertex is the circle, all right, and edge can be line, or direction. Okay, so when you look at this slide, that can be graph, because this graph has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 7 vertices and the many lines, direction, edge, right? So the professional word for graph, vertex and edge. All right, so that is the vertex. Okay, you should memorize it, the definition of the vertex and edge. All right, so graph can be composed of many vertices and edges. All right, so we can make the graph data structure with the iGraph package and graph.data.frame function. Okay, so you can use them for that. And finally, we can visualize our result using plot function. So we want to visualize this data of the graph format, and vertex size is 10, and vertex label is the name of each vertex of the DF. All right, so capital V function can get the vertex label per each vertex. All right, so you can use the capital V for getting vertex dot label. All right, sometimes we can control the marginally the point using this function, but that is optional. So you can do this code with this comment as well as without this comment, according to your status of your monitor and your computer setting. Sometimes we don't need to use the marginal control function, but sometimes some students should use it for proper visualization. All right, and we can also draw our result using another format of the plot, such as the third parameter additionally, as well as the first one, second one. So using third one parameter, we can get the more degree information for distinguishable main characters. So if you use the degree function, that means please draw the main characters per text with the 3 times of the basic size. All right, so you can do these code all by yourself, and then you can check the each comment meaning with this comment and without this comment all by yourself. Alright, I will upload this CSV file iCampus, and you can download, and you should be very careful about the space between dot and n. Of course, you can modify the CSV with the without this space, but sometimes you should be very careful about space of the file for your future. Okay, so you can download and then you can type it. Alright, okay, I will show you the CSV file together. Wait for a moment. Maybe okay, we can download it, but I recommend you can fill out the Excel file quickly, because it is more efficient way than searching the Excel file in my computer right now. Alright, I'll wait for a moment. Cannot find it right now. Okay, I recommend. Alright, so for example, from to Mike alright, Harvey. Okay, you can draw it, and Harvey. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, and Jessica, and Luis, Donna, Rachel, Trevor, Hardman. Alright, so we can put the simple meaning to the direction of the per each row. For example, that means Mike talked to the Harvey in a specific scene. Alright, and Mike can also call to the Jessica, for example. So we can understand the meaning of the from and to relationship. Alright, and Mike can also send the email to Donna, for example, and Mike can also send the message to the Rachel. Alright, and okay, Harvey, Jessica. Alright, Luis, Donna, Rachel, and Harvey can talk to the Jessica, and Harvey also talk to the Luis, and Harvey also Donna and Rachel. Alright, and Jessica can talk to Luis, and Luis talk to new character Christine, and Luis also talk to Donna, right? And Donna talk to Rachel, and Rachel talk to Jessica. Trevor talk to Mike. Hardman talk to Jessica. Hardman talk to Harvey. Lastly, Hardman talk to Luis. Of course, you can add more the relationship, the bottom lines, but it is up to you. Anyway, we can save this we can save this Excel file in working directory, right? So we can get working directory, and we can save file to this directory, alright? So we can save this Excel file to this part, and of course we can modify the file name, right? But I want to test the file with the space, so we can use this one. So the file name ex3 dot space network shoots dot CSV. Alright, so you can copy and paste here. Okay. Alright, so we saved this Excel file from untitled to ex3 space network underbar shoots dot CSV, but be careful about that. So I want to show you about unexpected your fault. I made intentionally this case because we want to save the file with the extension CSV, right? But Excel file automatically adds the default extension, right? So in this case, you can use the Excel file with the CSV, right? So you should click this one, and you can delete the extension, right? So at this point, you can save this file name with the .csv file extension and then save. Alright? So finally, you can get this Excel file name, right? And then you can type these comments step by step. So you should made new script of the untitled, and then you can install packages with double quotes iGraph. Alright, so you should be careful about double quotes for install that packages, but in case of library, you don't need to put double quotes, only package name. Alright? Okay? And then you can read the CSV file. Okay? And the file name is this. Alright? And then header is the T, right? And you can test the df with the head function, and you can test the str function too. Alright, and then you can surely transform given data to the data frame. Alright, and then you can transform from the data frame to the graph. That data, that frame, df directed, right? Directed equal true. Oh, sorry. And plot df. All right. This graph can be vertex size equal 10 and vertex vertex size 10, vertex that label equal capital V, including name variable. Alright? Okay, so I recommend you learn per each line for this example because we use the package, right? So we want to check the successful downloads of the each package, right? So you can learn, or please look at this part. You can use the Control Enter too for keyboard shortcut, alright? So you can use the Control Enter in keyboard. So when you look at console and when you look at this part, we can recognize the package is downloaded in our computer, right? Okay. Even though the sentences are read, but there's no words of the error, right? So that means successfully downloaded, alright? So we can check it. And then, okay, automatically the cursor is moved below the next line, right? So you can also naturally put the Control and Enter. Okay? And then you can check the result of the 6 rows of the result using the head function. Okay, and how about str? As we already learned about str function, if you use the str function, we can get the data structure and how many rows are there and how many columns in data, right? So 18 observations of the 2 variable, right? So please compare your data with the RStudio result. Alright, so we can omit the first rows because it is just the header, right? So when you look at this, there are 18 rows and 2 columns, right? And from column variable can have the factor with the 8 level, right? So what is the meaning of the 8 level? So Mike is 1, Habi is 2, Jessica is 3, Luis is 4, Donna is 5, Rachel is 6, Trevor is 7, Hardman is 8, right? So 8 levels are there, right? And if we enumerate the character name per alphabet, maybe Mike starts with the capital M, so maybe the index number maybe I'm not sure exactly, but I think Donna is 8, Hardman, maybe Mike is the 6, I think, because maybe Habi is the first one, right? And no, T is the first one, and Habi is second one, and J is third one, and Hardman is first one, for example, and L is the Luis is the fifth one, and Mike is the sixth one, right? So when you consider the order or sequence of each person, maybe Mike is the sixth the alphabet for his name. So maybe when you compare the 6 means the Mike, and Habi, like that. All right. So if you use the integer index of the vector, we can control per each group of the vector quickly in our source code, because that is just a number, right? Okay, that maybe we can use the vector in detail, so don't worry about it. Alright, so you can also consider the 7 levels of the 2 columns. Alright, okay, and then we can go ahead. After that, we can transform the data structure from data frame to the graph. So you can test the app. So that is the eye graph, and the graph has vertex as well as edges, as I talked to you before. So we can get the graph information, and finally we can get the graph like that. Alright, so we can get the eye graph visualization here, and even though we get the visualization of the graph, but the vertex size is same, right? So as I talked to you before, you can test the plot command for distinguishable the vertex size between the main characters and the secondary characters. Alright, so you can do these plots all by yourself, and then you can paste your result in Word file. Alright, so you can copy and paste in your Word file, and then you can add your comments step by step, and you can complement your Word file with enough time. Okay, alright, that's it. So in your case, naturally you should put your personal information, and you can put your comment per each comment. Alright, so I mean the comment, and this is command, right? So you should put your own sentence on top of each comment. Alright, okay, that's it. Today we will talk about the toy example for analyzing main characters using the MidSuits. Okay, so you can extend the Excel file all by yourself, and you can do this example for analyzing another cases too. Alright, and from this video, please think about your own test data based on your interests, such as the movie or music or your major and so on, and then you can try to make your own Excel file, and then you can also read your own data file, and then you can type similar the same comments, and then visualize your own data, and then you can also explain your own data results in your Word file. Okay, alright, so you can also make your own Excel file, and then you can copy and paste here too, so I can check your trial of your own data. Alright, and then you can also put your own source codes as your own the visualization result, and then you can add your explanation. For example, result, I thought the Harry Potter and Iron Man, Harry Potter or Iron Man movie be data in be the 2 columns. So you can do this. So you can also put your own sentence on top of each comment. Alright, and then you can also read your own data file, and then you can type similar the same comments, and then you can visualize your own data in your Word file. Okay, alright, so CSV file. Okay. After visualization in RStudio, I can recognize the main characters and site information and so on. So in future, I want to extend this example with big data, crawling, and big data tools and so on. All right. Okay. So the MidSuits is the mandatory. All right, and all students should do it. And second example, such as the novel or movie or music or other your major data, it is up to you. So you should make your own Excel file, and then you can do the same code. Maybe this part is the only different, right? And then you can capture and paste here. All right. All right, that's it. Thank you for listening. See you next video. Bye bye.